1. Hotel is full. One room cancels for the night, and within 3 minutes another booking comes in for the same day. Perfect. Hotel keeps money from the first reservation, and the room was sold in minutes. Guest states on the booking their check-in time, about 2 hours after the original booking came in. No problem. So far so good. Even in peak season where most hotels are full, some hotels decide to throw common sense to the wind and insist on winging it. Sometimes it works out. 1 hour goes by, and we receive a special request message from the third-party site. The guest sends a message saying they want a sea view room in the quietest part of the hotel. When you make such requests, the booking sites clearly state that requests cannot be guaranteed. This is important later. Only one of our 4 rooms is advertised as sea view, and it had been booked for months in advance for one of our regulars. These new guests also got the only room we had, which happened to be at the top of the stairs. Not loud at all, but some guests immediately assume they're going to sit through stomp the minute they see where it's located. It's worth noting that this room was bigger and nicer than the one in the previous pictures on the third-party site. No sea view, but with lovely hill views from both windows. Figured it wouldn't be a problem, since most guests understand that the special requests cannot be guaranteed, and don't mind the room at the top of the stairs since it's bigger, and we've never had a guest complain about the noise. As I'm typing the email back to the guest to set her expectations, they walk through the door. Judging by the look of them, it could go either way. FDA checks them in, takes them to the room and comes running back on the verge of tears, won't say a word and runs to the back. Not long after, the couple comes down and the woman is red in the face. I brace myself and prepare for the worst. I'll be R and she'll be bitchy request lady. R, hello. Was there something wrong with the room? Bitchy request lady. I asked for a sea view quiet room. This is unacceptable. I want to see the manager. R, ma'am, please lower your voice. I am the manager. As I can see here, you booked the room less than 2 hours ago. We only have one advertised sea view room, which was full, and yours was the only room we had because of a cancellation. You made the request less than 10 minutes ago, and you were even told on the site that special requests cannot be guaranteed. I'm sure you can, but your request lady cuts me off. Whatever, I've been traveling for over 24 hours and just want the room I booked. Since you can't give me this, I want a free upgrade. R, like I was saying, you booked the room an hour ago, and we're in our peak season. She was lucky to have even found a room in this area at this price, at such short notice. Like the site says, special requests cannot be guaranteed. I cannot upgrade you because of something you should have been aware of. Bitchy request lady. Well, the room isn't like the pictures. In the picture, the AC is right above the bed. What are you going to do about that? R, yes, about the room. I'm sorry it's not exactly like the pictures. Because of the building layout, it's hard to get all the rooms the same. Also, because of this, the room is actually bigger than the size stated online. The AC is directly across from the bed, and most guests don't mind this. I'm afraid it's the only one we have available tonight. I'll be happy to relocate you tomorrow. Bitchy request lady. Not good enough. I want my room comped and an upgrade. R, apologies if I didn't make it clear before, but the hotel is full. I can't upgrade you. Bitchy request lady. This is unacceptable. I want my money back now. R, sorry you're not satisfied with your room. I'm afraid there's nothing else we can do. If you'd like to find an alternate accommodation, you're more than welcome to have a seat and use our Wi-Fi. Please contact the third-party site for your money back. Our cancellation policy states that any cancellations within 24 hours will be charged, but I can make an exception in this case. Bitchy request lady. I want it back in cash, now! R, I'm sorry we can't do that. Bitchy request lady. Why not? Really? R, because you paid online using your card. The booking site actually holds the money and pays us after you check out. We are not refunding you money we have not yet received. This is how it works, and I'm not changing it for you. Bitch your request, lady.
Fine.
At this point, I think it's over. She and her husband are sitting in the lobby and I assume they're looking for another hotel. More guests come to check in. Bitch your request, lady.
This hotel is a scam. Make sure you check your room. This is false advertising.
Poor old couple is absolutely stunned but asked to see the room, which I'm happy to do for them, and they're perfectly happy with the room they booked. I come back to find Bitch your request lady talking to a walk-in couple, looking for a room, and she's showing them the new hotel she's found. Bitch your request lady.
I found a much better place than this hellhole. It's only 3 times more than what she paid. I have a friend who works at a third-party site, and she can get our money for this stuff back.
She assumes they had a booking. They weren't even able to say a word.
Do you want to split a cab cost there?
Seriously? Lying about a hotel and then trying to get others on board just so you could share the cab costs. R. Looks like you found another hotel. I can help you call a cab. We have a private company that can be here in 10 minutes, and it costs X dollars. Bitch your request, lady.
Ha! If the cab company is anything like your hotel, I'll be lucky to get there alive. No way I'm booking anything from you.
She then proceeds to start yelling at the top of her lungs. Bitch your request, lady.
Scammers! Con artists! This hotel is a fraud!
This is the point where I lose it and say something along the lines of,
listen here and listen good, lady.
You've done nothing but cause trouble since the minute you got here. I'm not sure what 2-star budget hotel means in your country, but here it certainly doesn't mean we're gonna roll out the red fucking carpet for you. I don't care if you're paying $20 or $2,000 a night. Just because you're a guest here does not give you the right to treat my staff this way. You have exactly 1 minute to leave the property and my line of sight before I call the local police, who especially do not take abuse against their people very kindly. I've also decided that you will also not be getting any refund whatsoever for wasting my time, and as we're within our rights to charge you for thinking you could window shop during the busiest time of the year. Don't like it? Tough. I'm not intimidating at all, but bitchy request lady and her husband said nothing, stared blankly, picked up their stuff and walked away. Sold the exact room to a walk-in couple she tried talking to before. With a smile, they told me they didn't like her at all, and had just come from the hotel bitchy request lady had booked. Apparently their booking system wasn't syncing with their PMS, and were horribly overbooked. A fitting end. 2. Yesterday a woman came to check in at my hotel, without a name still. Seriously, we should have a contest to name my hotel. Travelling from Scotland, alone. There was a reason for that. She was, well, I'll be me, she'll be Scottish broad. Welcome to the Dog Park Hotel, how can I help you today? Scottish broad.
Scottish broad.
Me, yes, do you have a reservation?
Better.
Me, in my head. Wouldn't you want to be sure about this before leaving the country? Well, ma'am, if I can just take a peek at your ID and credit card, I can get started. Scottish broad.
It's already paid for.
Her voice is like someone taking a piece of glass and running it over a cheese grater. With an accent. And when she said it was paid for, I knew. Fucking Expedia. Me, yes ma'am, I'm sure it is. But however, I can't check you in without looking at your ID, just for safety, of course. And this hotel requires an actual credit card on file in case of damages. She starts to interrupt me, but nevertheless I persisted. And while I know you won't damage the room we have for you, it's hotel policy and I'm sure you understand, it's not personal. Scottish broad reluctantly digs into her fanny pack, and I finally pull up her reservation. Other than this is an Expedia reservation, there is zero information on it otherwise, no requests, nothing. Me, okay ma'am, we have you in XXX, and it's over here, and a shrill noise coming from Scottish broad interrupts me. Scottish broad.
Is that a ground floor room?
I specifically told the person at Central Reservations I would only stay in a top floor room.
How do I have a ground floor room?
Me. Ma'am, you didn't speak to Central Reservations according to your reservation, Your reservation was made through Expedia, who did not put in that request for you. And ma'am, we are sold out of your room type, and the room that was assigned to you is the last room of your room type that is available. Scottish Broad, rubbish! Expedia is central reservations! Me, internally screaming, I am so glad insane Scottish woman that knows how my job works better than I do thinks that Expedia is our central reservations. Ma'am, for this room type, this is the best I can do at this point. We are completely sold out, and I do not have another room in your room type at this moment. Scottish Broad. So I suppose I'll have to complain daily, hourly even, until you can move me to the room that I requested and you blatantly refuse to give me. Yes, lady, I am refusing to give you a room I don't have. Please shut up. If my manager wasn't here, you'd be gone by now because you are going to be a giant pain in the ass for 4 fucking days, and I am already tired of you. Luckily, my manager came out of his cave at this moment, and looked it up, and we ended up upgrading this screechy woman to another room of a different type that she should have paid more for, but because it's not pet-friendly, we don't get a lot of requests for. Scottish Broad glared at me, and thanked the nice boy in the tie, as she was bellowing into her cell phone on the way to her room for doing his job. Yo, hold my purse. I'm about to take my earrings off. 3. Happened today. I was cleaning the dining area when I got to work, because the housekeepers are training a new girl, and can use the help. I spied with my little eye a man of about 50 coming into the hotel, paper in hand. Obviously he needs to check in. I put down my cleaning supplies and head to the front desk. He'll be asshole. I'll be me. Me checking in. Asshole. Yeah, I have a reservation. Last name fuckwit. Me, okay, I have you pulled up. Looks like a prepaid reservation. I just need your ID and a card for incidentals. Asshole, here's my ID. There won't be any incidentals. I proceed to update the address info and verify identity and such. Me, alright, card for incidentals? Asshole. I already fucking told you, there won't be any incidentals. Me, sir, I need a debit card or credit card for incidentals. You agreed to this when you booked through Expedia. It's in case anything gets damaged. Asshole, I'm not gonna fucking damage anything. Me, sir, you're going to need to lower your voice. I'm not dealing with any verbal abuse on Monday. Asshole. Okay, well, thing is, I already paid for this room. You can just put the incidentals on the card that's on file. Me. Sir, in an effort to maintain your privacy, Expedia does not send over your credit card info, address, or phone number. That is why I needed your license, phone number, and incidentals card. Beginning to get irate. Asshole. Look, I'm not giving you a credit card. The room is already paid for. That's how identity theft occurs. Me, look, it's simple. I need an incidentals card or I'm not going to check you in. Asshole. Fine. Hands me the card for incidentals. As I was recording the credit card information into our system, he begins to become verbally abusive by calling me names after I explained that I cannot change these policies. I was almost done when he called me an idiot for not being able to negotiate a change in policy. After all, we do a lot of business with Expedia. Who the fuck educates these people? That made something in me snap. I gave his card back to him, and the exchange continued. Me. You will not be staying here this evening. You are more than welcome to pursue a refund through Expedia, but I will not be honoring this reservation. I'm willing to take the heat for losing a 3-night reservation if it means not being verbally abused. Asshole. I ain't fucking leaving. I have a paid contract. You have to honor it. I explained to this shit stain that I cannot be compelled to do anything, but I can call someone who will compel him to leave. Naturally, I had to call 911, which I fucking hate doing, because our boys in blue have way better things to be doing with their time. Eventually the cops come, handled it magnificently, and got this guy out of there. I'm not dealing with verbally abusive guests today. Nope, not today. Edit. Guys, I know when to call 911. In my city, you ask yourself, do I need an officer? And the answer is yes, then you call 911. It is the only dispatch number for my city. The non-emergency line is used to ascertain information, such as what to do about the Mercedes that's been in the parking lot for 4 months, what we can do about a guest who left without paying a $1,000 tab, and what needs to be done about this pistol housekeeping found in a room last night. 911 is the only dispatch number here, and I live in a city with over 500,000 people. If you call non-emergency and need an officer, then they will have you hang up and call 911. This message is on the call waiting messaging machine for my city. 4. It's been about 6 months since I got out of the macabre nighttime that was the front desk of a cheap hotel that catered to long stays and had a few guests that were permanent residents. Most of our live-ins were nice people. They understood how much easier it was for us to help them when they weren't being difficult. Elle was not a nice person. Elle was nasty, and mean and condescending. If I didn't know why a TV station was coming in blurry, I was an idiot. I couldn't argue with her or protest her insults to her face because Elle was also confined to a motorized wheelchair and would garner sympathy from the guests coming into the hotel. She also claimed to be legally blind and told she had cancer more than once. Her room was visible from the parking lot, and every front desk employee that worked with me would be able to testify that she can walk just fine. Maybe she needed the wheelchair, maybe she didn't, but there was every reason to believe she was a basket case. She would also talk endlessly to guests and staff members about having a cat, but would refuse to pay the extra cleaning fee because she was an asshole. Also, she had lived in the hotel for longer than anyone on the desk staff, including the GM and AGM, had worked there. So she had seniority, and there was nothing we could do. About a year into my working there, the grossest smell starts emanating from Elle's room. Imagine if a cigarette had food poisoning, and Yankee Candle made a scent out of it that burned for a week in the back seat of a Toyota Tercel. At first we just know it's her hallway, but the smell grows stronger and stronger until it's clear that the epicenter is her room. The GM lets it go for a while, because he's burned out and it's easier to get high in a car than deal with his job. Understandable, but we have to start giving refunds to her neighbors. Then we have to start giving refunds to their neighbors. One person walked past that room to get to theirs, stopped, and called Travelocity to get a refund. This is no joke. I was out and about when I got the call from my coworker. The boss demanded we open her room up to the staff, and the smell made our maintenance man projectile vomit. Her cats, there were 3, were spraying all over the room. She had been smoking on a non-smoking floor. Oh, and she scooped up the kitty litter into her toilet. For those unfamiliar, if you try to flush kitty litter, you may as well be making a cement block in your toilet. Her toilet was clogged for weeks, maybe months, and she had been shitting in the kitty litter and scooping into her trash cans. We called a plumber, who arrived in a hazmat suit. He was confident he could tackle anything, but he came back looking like he had just saw his parents get murdered mid-coitus. Because she was handicapped, it was still months before we could successfully evict her. It destroyed the morale of our staff. The maintenance man retired not long after. The GM and the co-worker quit to fulfill their lifelong dreams of not working there anymore. I sometimes think about that smell, when I want to lose my erection or I'm trying to vomit. 5. For context, I was a cleaner at a holiday park's camping and touring department, and the shower block I had to clean that day consisted of 7 small self-contained bathrooms. Would have been 8, but one was locked off until maintenance could take a look at it. As it's only security during the night, I'm usually the first staff member people see in the morning, so I'm the cleaner and can only do so much, but feel free to take this up with my manager. It's something I say on a near daily basis. One person collared me about some lights being out. Not a complaint, as half the block was still usable. They just wanted to let me know. I checked the fuse box and lo and behold, the fuse for 3 of the lights had tripped. Time to reset it and figure out which bulb had blown and tripped it. While looking for a bulb, I end up having to reattach a toilet seat and mistakenly think that's the end of it. 2 hours later, and I'm enjoying the morning sun while waiting for someone to finish up in the only one I'd yet to clean. Apparently, standing on the decking and waiting means come complain to me, as a woman makes eye contact with me and immediately storms over. Now this was almost 2 years ago, so here's a close approximation of our conversation. Her,
"I'm absolutely appalled at the state of these toilets. I couldn't see a thing last night."
Me, "I'm sorry. The fuse for some of the lights tripped, but I've already dealt with it."
Her, "And the toilet seat. I almost broke my neck."
Great, out of 7 cubicles, you use one with no light and a broken toilet seat. Me, "Sorry, I reattached it the moment I saw it, and there were other cubicles that were usable."
Her, "This is unacceptable."
Me, "I'm only a cleaner, there's no..."
Her, "I'm going to speak to your manager."
I was just about to send you to him if you hadn't interrupted. She stomped off across the field. I had about 5 minutes before she reached the touring hut, so I phoned the manager. At first he was confused but let me talk. I told him he was about to get a complaint, and explained that a fuse had blown, so 3 cubicles had no lights, one of which had a broken toilet seat. I stressed that over half were absolutely fine. He hung up, and once again, I thought that was the end of it. I later found out that she had made a complaint against me, and requested a full refund for the holiday. The refund was denied, and she repeatedly escalated it until the head of the entire park personally denied her a refund. Apparently, she'd spoken to my manager in the same tone as me, so the complaint against me was more or less immediately thrown out. Hey everyone, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Confessions of a Hotel Worker number 2. Big thanks to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. I'm hoping to add some more things to the confession series as we go along, but I was very fortunate that it was either going to be retail or hotel this week, and I decided we'd go with hotel. I did actually have enough to do the adventures in retail, so we might do that next Sunday, unless I see something else. Well, I hope you're all enjoying a nice weekend. I seem to have lost the ability to talk today. Everything feels all, I don't know, numb? Ah well, whatever. I'll be fine. Nothing special planned for me. I'll be doing the same as I was last weekend, actually. I'll be working in the garden and scanning old family pictures. That's pretty much what's in store for me. So I hope your weekend is a bit more exciting than my own, and if it's not, I certainly hope you're having fun with whatever you happen to be doing. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So, until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.